Hello everyone, so welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to talk about Azure networking components. Might be some of people can think on that why I'm talking directly to the network instead of creation of virtual machine and everything. Uh, yes, because reason is that if you are going to work in Azure, before creation of virtual machines, you must have a knowledge of the network structure that is in Azure and how you can place your network because once you define a connectivity from your on-premises to Azure or your external users, those are sitting in the internet or anywhere, and they are trying to connect it to Azure, how you can enforce with the secure channel or secure tunnel to reach out to your published environment or your virtual machines. For the external published applications, yes, you can directly use it. No requirement of network infrastructure explicitly. But for Azure virtual machines and on-premise integration, you must have a knowledge on this Azure network components. Otherwise, you cannot build that environment, secure environment. You cannot use it on the public network with your virtual machines. You can watch my complete entire series of this Azure Beginners to Professional. I have already added entire playlist in my description box. You can check it out from all the videos, the series, if you are directly starting and watching from this video. So let's continue with our discussion that is Azure network components. So in Azure, we have a first one is the virtual networks and the subnets. Here you can define a network range as well as your virtual network card, just like a virtual network switch, and you can assign it to various systems. Just like as a switch, you are assigning it in Hyper-V or in VMware, same as, or if you are not aware about that, you can just understand it's just like a physical switch. You are creating it or a virtual network with the specific subnet that you are going to create it over a cloud, and that will be utilized by various machines or various systems when you place it. The network interfaces that are the NIC cards that are associated with your virtual machines normally, and it would be totally depends on the size and everything. You can define the network speed, resource utilization. You can put network interface card with load balancers or IP gateways also. That I will show you how we can define it. The IP addresses, obviously, it's just like as for all the system, you can define the IP addresses. This is also a network component. It could be a private or it could be a public. If it is a public, then it's exposed over an internet also. If it is in private IP address, then it's just assigned to virtual machine. And only the secure environment or the integrated environment can access it through a virtual private network like VPN or can be through express route, etc. We will discuss about that how it is used. Public IPs can be taken from Microsoft SUK and could be a dynamic or could be an static also. It would be totally depends on your plan and subscriptions. We talk about that more. We have an Azure DNS available. We can use the Azure DNS name resolution service. We can create records over there. We can map our domains, custom domains, etc. We have an Azure load balancer where we can put it multiple servers in the back end and front end as a load balancer can be published and accessible. We can define our application gateways just to put some additional layer of security, or sometimes you can put it as a SSL layer integration gateway path. So you can define and you can put the URLs, you can put the cookies based affinity, a lot of things you can do it with the application gateways. We have a option available, application traffic manager or Azure traffic manager that basically used to for the DNS based load balancing. It's available in Azure and you can define the endpoints with the load balancing and traffic manager. Mostly it's used when you have a Microsoft non-Microsoft cloud integration or you have an on-premises data centers, so you can use it at the time of failovers, at the time of load balancing. We can use that traffic manager to redirect our traffic. We can define the network security groups. So the network level firewall rules can be associated with the subnets. If you are defining this, we have an service endpoints that like when we have a platform as a service kind of a structure, we can define the platform uh, endpoints for Azure storage or Azure SQL databases. We can define the routings, etc., like user-defined custom route if you want to configure static routes for your virtual networks. That is also can be defined. We have an forced tunneling option just to provide an secure and a consistent route. We can define the virtual network connectivity structure, like it could be as a P2S VPN, it could be a site-to-site VPN. P2S is the point-to-site VPN. I will show you how we can create it and we can use it. And we can use Azure Express route also. Then we have an option available here is VPN or VNet pairing option, through which we can also VNet to VNet configure connection. I will show this option also in later slide how we can define the VNet to VNet. Then we have an Azure Virtual Network gateways or VPN gateways, through which we can define a virtual network or we can configure a virtual network so that mm, end users can get a secure environment or they can get a secure connectivity from endpoint till your server. So this is what all the basic options available if we talk about in Azure network components. Let me just quickly show you the Azure Virtual Networks. So in the Azure Virtual Network, we can define the public or the private subnets. Here you can see the private range are there. Private range could be it's up to your requirement, your environment, the number of machines you are going to place. Accordingly, you can take a class A, B, or class C network. Public networks IPs are configured, but it's rarely used, as when you have to publish something, then only it's required. We can define by default DNS name resolutions, or we can use a custom uh, resolutions also. Apart from that, we can also integrate our on-premises DNS server. We can define our own DNS names for the resolution or our own naming servers. That if you want, you can also utilize it. So I will continue with this network component section in the next video also. Till that time, I'm just breaking out this video here and we will reconnect in the next video. The next video link is already in the description box, so you can just watch it from there. The entire series playlist is also there in the same description box. Till that time, thank you so much and keep watching this channel. Thank you.